Hola Eli, te voy a dejar en el taller, ¿ok?
Okay, thank you. Hi, Kate. Hello, Sharon.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Glad to see you here again.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I was sick for a little while and now I'm better, so I'm happy.
Okay. Well, hopefully you get better. Okay, he's gonna get back. Okay, let's wait a few minutes before we start. Let's see, Kate, if I can hear you now. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we will start in a few minutes, but the ones that are here, I want you to start locating photographs about yourself, about your family, about random people. Like, try to start locating photos because we will do some exercises related to that. So you can start looking into your phone or uh, internet. So you have that. Okay, I'm gonna start and let's see like the others just get here. I don't know what happened today, but we will start. Okay. So let me share my okay, can you see the screen? Yes, okay. Welcome to this workshop, writing from photograph. This for me is very exciting because I believe everything in writing always start with an image, like an image that comes to our mind, and how we can play with that, like how we take that image and also create something around that, because we can see like the same picture or the same photograph and still we are going to go for different perspective from different places, because when I see an earring, maybe I remember my grandma, but other can remember when she was little, or but other person can remember, like memory can go from this photograph from many places, and I think that's very interesting for writing, you know? So basically, it's like photographs can freeze like a single moment, but they can also suggest entire wars beyond that. Even watching a photo like we have here, we can see like, oh, there's a family, we have the mother, the father, and two kids. But maybe what you remember is not like the position of the photo, but what happened in that moment, what I felt in what moment, what someone said in that moment, what I was going through in that moment. So every image contains, like, of course, some visible details that we can take and create from there, but also an emotional part that we can see and we can interpret based on that. So this brings memories, emotions, and also experience. Like you can experience while you are watching this photo what's happening with me and my body when I see this photo. What are my thoughts around that? So this is again why two people can watch the same photo and go to different places, even if that photo is related to you or not. Okay? So in that case, writing from photographs allow us to explore this creative gap between reality and imagination. And I love this one. Like for once, there's a reality like the photo. Like in this photo, I can see three people. They are dressed with a t-shirt or a dress, and we have the light, we have the colors. Like this is the reality of the photo. But then it's like what we can imagine, for example, watching this photo from this woman. What can we create just by watching this person, or what watching the image in here, you know? So that's very interesting how reality and imagination can play to create. Okay? So also like image, like I said, can act as triggers from our memory, and also how we remember things. Like, okay, maybe we have this family photo, but let's imagine Leslie and I, we are cousins, and we are watching this photo, and Leslie like, oh, that day was horrible. I hated. I cannot stand that day. And I'm like, that was the best day of my life. How is this possible? So it's like each of you can go through a different experience from different situations, from different image, from different photos. And that's the interesting about being creative and about having the possibility to create. So in the end, like this can help us, of course, to create characters and to create to do a storytelling based on what we capture in that moment. So I just want you to see like photos and memories are very related one to the other. Like we they have a strong relationship, and memory, as well as we know, is very selective, very emotional, and it's constantly changing. Like maybe today I watched this photo and it's like I feel something and I remember something, but maybe I watched this photo 3 years from then and I was healing. I'm another person, of course. So my relationship with the photo will be different, you know? So I just find this quite interesting, like how a photo activates memories, and this memory start creating a narrative that becomes a story based on that process. Like this photo activates a lot of things from me, and I am able to create. So I just we are going to start doing some exercises, but let me open something. I just want you to start also looking for some photos about yourself, about people around you, about random people that we can use to create. But let me uh, set the timer here. So, but first, like, tell me, what do you think about this? Have you ever created using photos, or this is something new for you? How do you see that? Let's chit chat a little bit before we start. What can you tell me?
Sorry, can you repeat that question one more time?
Yeah, my question is like, have you ever create something using a photo? Are you do you did you have you done that?
Mm, I would say more so like photography, but I don't think writing. So this will be maybe my first time doing it.
Okay, amazing. Thank you for sharing, Sharon.
I have done this a fair bit because part of my writing is about the grandmother that I never knew who was murdered before I was born. So all I have of her are photographs. And and the way I got involved in Dominican writers was a workshop that was done by the woman who wrote Mother Archive, who did a lot of writing from photographs. So she actually did a workshop. It was another Dominican writers workshop on writing from photographs, and it was just great.
Amazing. And that's very interesting. Like having a photo of someone that you didn't know, like, but this person is part of your family or very related to you. Like this person died just before I was born. I think that's very interesting to explore and how we can relate to those people. So thank you for sharing that. I found that quite interesting. And Leslie, I haven't, but it always interesting to see something and create a story. Yes. I just want to tell you, like, we do this all the time because the first that comes to our mind when we are going to write is an image. It's like a photograph in our mind. So we always create from there. So let's start with the first pillar and we do an exercise to see what happens in the process. So the first one would be observation. And observation, like we know, is the act of looking closely at an image, but to notice like details, specific details, textures, gestures, elements. I don't know if you were with me in other workshop that we took an object and we looked at the object for 5 minutes and we were trying to go deep and deep by looking from different angles what we can find now from this object. So it's the same with the photos, and I just want you to try it with that. So the first exercise, you will choose a photo of yourself and you're going to first look at the photo for 2 minutes, like allow yourself to connect deeply with the photo. And then you will write a paragraph or two or three, like describing what you see, what others might not notice that you notice by this interaction, and one detail that feels emotionally important for you. Okay? You can even like recall what happened in this moment or not. That's free for you. Or how you felt that day. You can use that emotion to find this information to see what happens. We are going to do it freely. You can do it as paragraphs, as a list, as a story. Just allow whatever needs to happen. Okay, so I'm going to set the timer and we will start creating.
I'm sorry, Ellie, sorry to interrupt. You say two paragraphs or two sentences?
It
Oh,
no. As long as you can with the
okay.
time.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. Thank you for asking that. Yeah. As long as you have the time. But first, like connect with the photo and take the 2 minutes to connect, to deeply connect. Don't write. Then after that, you start writing. Okay? I want you to go through the process. Okay, before we go to the next exercise, I want to know what happened when you start connecting with this photo. How old were you in this photo? Like, I want to know what happened there, just briefly. Like, which photo you took that could be interesting to share before we go to the next exercise. Kin, for example?
Yeah, I can you hear me? Sorry, I'm having some trouble.
Yes.
So I was looking to this photo not too long ago. It was like a few months, and it felt for some reason like very emotional because not oftentimes I could write to myself how I see that person. Like I'm often writing to other people. So felt very interesting.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, very it could be very emotional sometimes. Yes. Who else? Like which photo do you pick? What happened? Looking at yourself, trying to find those elements. Who wants to share?
I can share. Um,
Yes?
so you want to see the photo?
If I can,
Okay,
I
let me
would love
see.
to.
I think I'll show you from this camera, but this is me when
Um,
I did one of my first photo shoots. And as you can see, my hair now is back long, but this was when I was younger
yeah.
and I was starting to come more into me. And it's interesting because I have some other pictures with family, and those made me real emotional. And this, it's like the product of coming through that energy and then coming into my own. So I feel like it was giving very bold, like I was barefoot. I was in a top that my mother actually gave me, but at the time I wasn't speaking with her. So it was like I was being
Wow.
held by Mother Earth and feeling free and just safe to like express myself. And then I had on a lot of blue, so I felt like that represented that energy of like expression. So yeah, it was interesting.
Thank you for sharing. I love
Thank you.
like how you could go back to memory and that like you were using this sweater or of your mother, but you weren't talking to her, like all those emotions, like that's very interesting. Just that perspective can bring a story independently of the other elements, you know? So that's very interesting. Sharon, were you going to say something?
Yes, I was going to say, like the first person, I just used a photo from a couple months back, and I was surprised at some of the deep emotions that it uncovered about what was shown, what was not shown, what I knew beyond the picture, things about relationships, things about change, about time. So I found it very interesting.
Wow. Thank you for sharing also like all the emotions, all the memories, who I was there. I don't know if it's sometimes you watch a photo, it's like you cannot recognize yourself, like who is this person? Or yes, wow, I was so happy in that moment. Or like Leslie said, I was sad in it and I had my braids recently taken out. Also, it was my brother's birthday, but there was no celebration. Like a lot of things can come up and you don't have to take everything. You can just take what's most important in this moment or what most resonate, and then based on that, you start creating. So I love this. Thank you for
I
sharing.
also,
Let's go. Uh-huh.
sorry, I also want to add that the photo that I was looking at, it's a photo that somebody else took it from my family. So it was also like I didn't know if we have just to look at like what type of photo, but it was just very interesting that Mothra that was like around that picture.
Mm-hmm. 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 Totally. If other people were, or if someone took the photo, that just can be something that can bring something else. Like, it's like in this exercise, we will allow whatever needs to come. And I like that. Okay, so now we will go to the next one. And now we will talk about emotional activation. We already had some of that, but like I said, image can trigger emotional responses like nostalgia, discomfort, joy, longing. Like this emotion becomes like the fuel for storytelling. And again, you would choose what you want, and then based on that, you start creating. And something can be quite related to that or not. Like it can bring something else, and I allow this process to happen. So in this exercise, I want you to choose a photo of your family, and I want you to again connect with the photo and then write the dominant emotion in the image. That could be something. These we have 3 points that you can take one or play with the two. The first one, take the dominant emotion in the image and create based on that. It could be take a hidden or contradictory emotion there and create from there, or what you wish that moment had been instead of what it was. Okay? You can play with the tree or take just one. Okay? So look for that photo and create. It can be with your whole family, with your sister, with your brother, with an uncle, whichever photo you would like to explore. Okay, before we go to the next one, I want to know like which photo do you choose and which way to create. I want to know what happened in that process. Who wants to tell me?
Okay, I chose a photo again not too long ago where my mom, my niece Rebecca, and I we are before I take my travel back to New York City. We were in Puebla, Mexico, but it was so
Mm-hmm.
crazy because I did not expect this writing go the way that it. I I mean, this is okay, Ellie. You are touching parts of me that but it's so crazy how I started to grow, wrote about something that I have told myself and spoken to my family, but not writing it. So, and although it was a goodbye photo, I'm starting to telling about the decision of not becoming a mom. So it was so
Wow.
hard, and I just want to keep writing. Yeah. So yeah.
Wow, Kim, thank you for sharing that. I know this can be emotional. This is part of it. The good thing is like we are in a safe space to explore and to allow things if we need to cry, if we need to, release something, that's okay. And also like enjoy the process, like to like who am I right now and who I was there and what happened with the process. So thank you for being honest and open to that. I know it can be emotional sometimes. So thank you. Wow. What else happened? Or which photo do you choose? Who else wants to tell me?
I can share. Okay, so this is a photo of me and my mom. And
Oh,
it's very interesting because so we went to Tennessee and ironically I was on like a microdose and she didn't know, but I was on a microdose of mushrooms. But so that taps me more into my medicine woman energy. But it was very small, so very aware. So I tried to get my mom to hug this tree, right? And I had felt her back, and I was writing about how her back felt like she herself was a tree, like if she was built up with this bark to protect herself. And I was like, I can't massage this out of her. Let me see if she can lean against this tree, but she's scared of heights. So in the photo, it looks like resistance because it looks like she's really like pushing against the tree
yeah.
versus leaning into it. And I'm there all calm and just like, okay, because I got to accept that she's not going to climb up a little more to hug it or lean into it. So for me, it really represented like this shell that she's built up, that she's hardened, and enough for, like I said, that result of me being able to fully embrace and hug the tree and be in that energy of who I am. So very interesting photo. And I wrote that what I wish would have happened, obviously, that she would have embraced the tree with me so we could have done that together. But we did our own version. So yeah.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah, that's interesting to see how people also can relate with other elements of the nature or whatever, and how they relate with ourselves, like the relationship. Just what by watching this photo without knowing the context, you can know a lot about this person or their relationship, or what you can
Mhm.
create based on that. So yeah. How you want it to be called? Nature like that or
Mhm.
okay,
Yep,
perfect.
it's nature.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for sharing. And someone else? One more person I want to listen. Kate? Yeah?
Hi. So I kind of picked a random photo, and I thought your question of like what is the dominant emotion kind of interesting because um like this random photo is just a picture of me and then I have two cousins and they're pretty young. They're like 11 and like 8. And I was like, oh, obviously this is just like a happy photo kind of thing. And then I started thinking like, okay, well, why did we decide to take this photo? And um I don't get to see them that often, and I was not the one to suggest it. It was like the 11-year-old, and I at the time was like, "Oh my God, like you want to take a photo with me, like your 30-year-old cousin?" Um, and I don't know. I'm not like too hung up on like the realism part of like what was actually going on in the photo, but because reaching sometimes, but if I were to do like a secondary or like tertiary read of the photo, it would kind of be like for um I don't know, kind of like it's like it made me think like why do we take photos? And it's to capture a moment because you know that it won't last forever. And I think because they're young, it's like very obvious to me that they won't be young like that forever, and I also won't be young like this forever. Um and also I'm not going to see them again until the next time I see them, which is like once a year.
Okay. Thank you. I like all those questions that you found just by watching this photo. Like, why did we take this photo? How I felt, why they want to take a photo with me. Like, I like that types of questions. And those are questions that you can definitely ask yourself when you're watching a photo and what that can bring. Like, you start with the dominant emotion, but then you went from layers to other things that can create something in you and in the writing process. So thank you for sharing. Okay, I love this process. Thank you. Let me continue with the other exercise. Okay, so now we will talk about memory association, like the image again activates memories, real or imagine. And for me, that's the most interesting, what we remember based on what happened, really. And it's like the writer begins to connect to this moment, to this image, to this visual moment, and you can go like from something that can be fictional as well, or a memory or a part. This is what I really remember, or what I must remember about this moment. And how our memory works is like very interesting, how memory actually works when we create or when we're trying to remember a conversation, a situation, a feeling, whatever that comes to our mind. So now I want you to choose a photo of a place. It could be a real place that you have been, or an unknown place that you've never been, and you just put the name and then the image appear. And I want you to write what memory this place brings to you. It could be real or it could be imagined. Like, based on this, I have this imagination. And you are going to tell us like what happened there. Okay? And then choose, you can also play with one of these. Like, you can describe it exactly as you remember if you pick the real one. You can change some elements to make it different, even if the real or the unknown, the place that is unknown, or you can transform it into something completely new. But this will be a picture of a place, no people in the picture. But you, when you are writing, you can put some people there. Okay? So again, you can go from a million ways, just allow that to happen. And even, for example, like nature was talking about, maybe a picture of a place can bring a memory from my mother. So now I'm going to write about my mother, not about the place, but related to what that brings to me. Okay, you can do it like that, for example.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
Erickson. Well, you still have some minutes for this exercise. So
I'll
read
just
it.
take a picture of it and do it later.
Okay. You were gonna say something?
I'm excited for this one. That's all I was going to say.
Okay. You can watch later on the other parts, but yes,
Yeah.
it has been quite intense.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, in this, I'm gonna be asking a lot of questions because I believe it's interesting what happens. So I want to know, like, which place do you choose? Do you choose a place that you know or that you didn't? And which way do you go from the writing process? Um, Wants to tell me.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Yes, Sharon? Yes.
um, so um, I used a photo of Fort Tryon Park, which I have a lot of. And I actually used a photo my son had taken when it was the blizzard, but I wasn't here. I was in Florida. So I went all kinds of directions. I found this a very interesting exercise because when I was writing about the park, um, I love the park and I take my dog there every day, and the dog loves the park. So I was talking about, even though it was in the blizzard, I wrote about the peacefulness of it and then the joy of my dog. But then I remembered taking pictures of the flowers in the park when it was the pandemic. So I wrote about that. And then thinking of transforming it, I thought about it as a dangerous place. And then I thought
Mm.
about, and so I wrote a sentence or two about that. And then I just kept transforming it. So I thought about how, it used to be like it was also a place that a friend of mine told me when he was a young gay man where he went for romance. So I wrote about that. And
Wow.
then and which, I didn't know about, but it was fun to write about. And then I imagined it when it was an estate and maybe the private tragedies of the people that worked on the estate. So it was very freeing, and it was very different from writing about people in the previous
Mhm.
photographs, because I felt like I could go kind of anywhere.
Yeah. Wow. I love it. And I love what you said, like how a place can be like a safe a space for someone, even though not necessarily you see this place and you think about this situation, but then this information is like, wow, this was like a safe space for people or not. This was somewhere dangerous for some people. Like how you can relate to that and also bring characters, bring emotions and play with that or create something new. So wow. Now I'm interested to look for information about that. Thank you, Sharon. Um, someone else, other process.
I can go.
I'll share. I kind of
Oh,
cheated because I still chose a photo with somebody
Okay,
in it.
Nature and then Emily. Sorry,
You're
again.
okay. So I chose this photo I won't show, but it's my grandma, and it's the picture that I choose to use of her on her own, like for my altar. She just got out of the shower though, and she has like a towel, but it's like the only picture I have of her on her own. So I kind of wrote about like I can see her eyes up close and things like that. And so thinking about her just getting out of the shower, I was like, I'm imagining that she was gonna go cook some food because she loved to cook. But I was like imagining if I was there and how I would help her like lotion her back and comb her hair and maybe have a cup of tea or help her prepare like a healthier meal. So that's how far I got, but I definitely want to explore this more with like different places. And I know that
Okay.
park because I'm from New York, Sharon. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. Because I actually know that park. I went there once with my aunt.
Thank you. Emily?
yeah, so I wrote about my backyard. I chose this place because it brought back a memory of the height of the pandemic in 2020. At that time, I was doing my undergrad and I was graduating, and they canceled in-person graduations. So I ended up having my fake graduation photo shoot in my backyard. Um, and my mom, she was the one that was taking my pictures. And we decided that was just the best place that could capture that moment. But it brought back like feelings of sadness that I had at that time because you spend all these years studying and you have this dream of having your family watch you walking across the stage, and there was no stage. The only thing I had was, myself and my house, but it was probably the best place, I guess, to take the photos because all of my studying happened here, all of my upbringing happened here. So I wouldn't be able to kind of meet the milestone of graduation had it not been where I came from, my family. So yeah, that's kind of what I wrote about.
Wow. Commenting on both, like for nature, like also how you can imagine like if I was there, if I was with that person, what would have happened, how this person would have feel, like creating all those memories just based in this photo. And for Emily, like that's incredible, like how this photo, like this fake photo, like you said, and what this can bring and everything, like some people experience that and I imagine it must have been horrible, but it was like this is a story. This is a story over here and how you experience and now what this backyard means to you, like you said, it was also from the place maybe you study or you were with friends, but also this was the place that I received my diploma or whatever. So wow, that's in this, it brings like nostalgia as well. So I just want to show you something before we do the other exercise and then we start sharing. Like for example, if you have a photo, I'm gonna put it here. Um okay, if you have a photo like this, like of a place, you can play with this in a way like, okay, I have this complete photo, but maybe I'm just gonna focus on this part. So you choose a specific part of the photo and you can create based on that. Because I don't see the same here than here if I make a cut. Like this part is not the same as this or as this. I can see million things from one photo. And if I add the emotion, okay, let's imagine I took this frame, for example, this part, and then I choose the emotion of anger and playing with the emotion and this specific side of the photo, then I can create something. Or I'm going to add a character. So the character is going to be here. Or I'm going to add a situation. Someone was being killed over here. So you can play with in million ways just with one photo. And it's like try to be specific. Don't focus on everything at a time. Just focus on something quite specific, and that can bring like the unique perspective that you will find from your writing. Okay? Or I'm looking at this photo, or what memory can this photo bring? And this photo brings the memory of my father. So now I'm gonna create a story about my father using these elements, these feelings that I can perceive from this photo. Okay, so I just want you to see like how you can play with the photo. Now we will do another exercise and then we will start sharing. So now we are going to talk about imagination expansion. Like again, the writers begins to imagine what is outside of the frame, like what happened before that photo or what happened after that photo or beyond the capture moment. Maybe two people were fighting and I'm like, take the photo, please. And I'm here. So this can bring another story. So what happens before, what happens after, what happened in the moment, or like Kate was telling the story about this cousins or family related, like they were, oh, let's take a photo, let's take a photo, and she's like, why do they want to take a photo with me? That can even be the story, not necessarily the photo itself. So I just want you to see like how you can play with this. So now I want you to choose a photo of a stranger or someone you don't know, and I want you to write a short scene based on what happened before or after the moment captured in the image. You can focus on a specific moment in time, the character's action or intention, or what is at stake in that moment. Okay? So this will be the last exercise. Okay, now the big moment. Let's just start sharing like one page or some paragraphs so we can let us know the exercise and then read. Don't explain anything, please, before. Who wants to start sharing? And we listen as well to comment. Okay, Roxanne, go ahead.
Okay. I chose the last one. A camera is new technology, and someone is showing it to her and the rest of her family. While everyone else is curious and excited, this camera is strange and creates discomfort for her. Her expression tells me that saying cheese is not part of her vernacular. She wants to continue with her chores and cooking for her children, and this strange object that everyone is jumping up and down about is of no use or consequence to her. What do you mean you are going to capture a photo of me? ¿Qué es eso, foto? Why are you pointing that at me? Is that a weapon? What comes out of that? The suspicion is real. She is not as worldly as her husband and children are or hope to be. I don't know if you want
What
to. Are
the
we supposed to show the picture or no?
If you can, I would love to. What do you
Yeah.
think about this exercise of Roxanne?
Oh, I loved it. I like
No,
to.
no, the others.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, you're allowed. What do you think about Roxanne's Oh wow. That's lovely. I love it. Now I see the character. I can hear her voice. Thank you, Roxanne. So, what do you think? Yeah, was very vivid, powerful. Sharon, yes?
It really evokes the personality of the person being taken in the photograph from just her reaction to the camera. And I just love that. I thought it was really effective. I love the piece. Really, I felt like I really understood her and had sympathy for her as a main character.
Mm-hmm. What else?
I love how she incorporated Spanish, of course, and that just made it more real. Yeah, it definitely sounded like somebody's abuela.
Yeah, and I love how you put this object as a weapon also. How the character sees the object or sees the moment. There you have something very powerful and unique. And as Sharon was saying, like this also brings a personality, just how a character relates with an object brings the personality without you explaining. That brings more. And we can, like nature say, like relate. This is like a grandma or that I know, you know? So that was very interesting. Thank you for sharing, Roxanne. Someone else? I don't know if you want to share something about the exercise that you wanted.
Are you talking to me or someone else?
Yeah, to you.
Oh, so
Now,
I
now,
was.
now you can talk.
Oh, okay. The photo was recently shared with me by an aunt. That is my great grandmother, my paternal great grandmother. And I'm going to the Zona Colonial retreat. And so I've been asking a lot of
I
questions of
see you
family,
there.
and she sent me 4 photos like that one. And she is my grandfather's mother. And I've obviously never met her. And that photo was in 1938, according to what's written on
Wow.
the photo. Hmm.
Amazing. I will
Yeah.
see you there, Roxanne.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, I will be there. Okay, someone else that wants to share? This is interesting. I love it.
I can
Kim,
share.
yeah. Tell us the exercise and we all listen.
I don't know which one. Um, okay, let's do this one. The three of us are smiling. The happiness cannot be hidden.
Wait, one
Yes.
moment.
Oh,
I
I'm
cannot
sorry.
hear you properly. I don't know if the headphones.
Oh,
Can you
uh,
talk again just to see?
Now, can you hear me?
That's better.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Great.
So the first one with the family. Um, So it says the three of us are smiling. The happiness cannot be hidden. We are the three women who are choosing to change our destiny. You came to our lives in the most unexpected way, and in the most unexpected way, you changed my world. Deciding not to be a mom started as a possibility, although Princess Fairy Tales told me the opposite. Since my family raised me with a divorced parents was something normal for me. And since then, I told myself that the day I will marry someone will be forever. I always believe in the love that can be nurtured every day and live until the end. As I was growing up, I kept insisting that in order to be successful, I need to do certain things at certain age. That is a lie. One of them was to be married at 30 and then have my first child at 31 or at the latest 35. With time, I forgot that, although I accomplished one. But I was growing up, remember myself telling everyone I don't want to be a mom. And now, at my almost 35, I decided that becoming a mom is not my goal. And please don't get me wrong. I love kids. And you, my little Rebecca, you are the most amazing love that I could imagine I could feel. If only you could see me through my eyes, you could see I will die for you. But becoming a mom is a decision that I made. My dad often tells me that is a mistake and that I will regret it. And as much as I love my dad, your grandfather, I want you to know that my dad keeps asking me about becoming a mom. And the last time I was so upset that I screamed at him, asking him to stop. You need to understand that no one, even if it is your father, has a right to pressure you in any decision about your body. And as much as you love them, as much as they are an important part of your family. But on the other hand, my mom, your grandma, the ones who is carrying you in this picture, only listens. Actually, now that I think, it was on that trip she asked me for the first time, and I guess the last time, "Are you sure you don't want to be a mom?" I say, "Yes, I can't." She told me, "Está bien, hija." And that felt like peace. The same peace that I can see in the photo, although it's a goodbye photo of the many goodbyes we had and we will have. But we are smiling because we have decided to change our paths. Your grandma is eager to learn how to raise a better granddaughter. Often ask me which books she should read to you, as she should tell you. It's like she's a new mom trying not to make the same mistakes she had with me and your father. And you, my one and only love, we are giving you the universe. And I haven't finished. It's gonna keep going.
Wow. What can you tell about this?
Should I
What?
share the
No,
picture?
you don't. Ah, yes, show the
Oh,
picture.
sorry. I just
But
let
other
me see.
share the
Oh,
picture, but others comment.
I don't know.
Oh,
Love it.
that's beautiful. Yes, we can see that. Oh, that
You know,
baby.
at first I thought she was talking about a puppy because she said she wasn't going to be a mother. And it's like, oh, okay, so this is my version. But then when you read the part about your mom doesn't want to make the same mistakes as your father and with me, I was like, oh, she must be talking about a niece or a nephew, um, but I love that. I love the, like the power behind the decision, right? Because I think that's the subtext that you made a decision and everybody needs to leave you the hell alone about that decision. You are happy with that decision. And that means that this young baby is going to get all of you in a different way, right? As a Thea or whatever. So I love it.
Mhm.
Someone else? Yes, I'm surprised like how from a photo something so big came like a big theme and how you could relate it to your family and to yourself and bring a story from that. So that's amazing how we can go from a simple photo or a simple element or object and then go to a theme and get into a situation and this was of course something personal but still like something big came out of there and we could see it while you were reading and we were with you there like and we can relate to that not necessarily in that position but how other people want us to be something else and we are like I don't want to do that. So yes, thank you Kim for sharing. I have time for one last person that wants to share
I can
Yes.
share. Okay. So, well, I got kicked out because I tried to pull up the photo and it froze. So, it was just a photo of a guy with braided hair and some pearl earrings. So, this is what I wrote. Just after this photo, he decided to walk towards the ocean, the pearls near his ears calling him towards the water, the sacred geometry in his antenna braided down, yet powerful symbolic maps connected to the cosmos and the crystals within him. Cloaked in white, he removed his socks and stepped his bare feet strong into the sand. He slowly glided toward the sea in an act of surrender. Que tiene a Yamaya como madre, tiene un océano de protección, replayed in his head. Yes.
Okay. What do you think about this? This image after. This was after, right? What do you think? Poetic. Had a vision of the guy in my, yeah, me too. Like we could follow the steps and to see what he was thinking and to we were there with the emotion, right? Yeah, and it was very beautiful and also like the call from this other God and everything. So yeah, and I ultimately think he's
He actually is a hottie. He is. And the pearl earrings got me because, you don't normally see guys in like pearl earrings. So I thought that was cute. I was like, oh, this guy looks interesting.
Okay, wow. I love it. Thank you so much, everybody. I think this is a way to play, to create, and you can do it in million ways. And remember, we always start with an image. So it's the same with the photos. So sometimes we are like, oh, I'm not creative. I don't know what to write about. Just take a photo. See what happens, allow the process. Maybe this will be a story, maybe not. Maybe you will find out something about yourself, about someone else. Maybe you will remember something, but that's the creative process. Okay? So thank you so much. And we are here creating. Okay?
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Happy
You
Sunday.
too. Peace, y'all.